Hey BookTube, it's Kim at Middle of the Book March. This is my Bookish week for Saturday, May 22nd. And yeah, I was able to finish 2 books last week. One of them I'm not going to say a lot about because I am checking in with my read-alongers, and I think I might do another individual review for this one, and then I'm going to talk about the other one for a little bit longer. And I have some currently readings, and I have a small book outlet haul that I will show you. So, one of the books I finished is Silas Marner by George Eliot. I'll give you a little hint. Yes, I gave it 5 stars. So, when I do my best of 2021, I'm going to have to keep George Eliot's books out of it because not much will be able to compare. So, Silas Marner is the story of the titular character who is a weaver in Ravelot, and he comes upon, or a small, beautiful, loving, blonde-haired blonde ringlets? She has hair with blonde ringlets. She comes into Silas's life, and she overturns everything that he thought and believed and assumed. But again, I will do a separate review for this after I check in with the read-alongers and figure out when I can schedule that. The other book I finished with Judy Brown is Transcendent Kingdom by Ya Gyasi. This is a contemporary novel that discusses science and religion. So, the blurb in the front, and I don't it's 50-50 whether I like these blurbs or not. Many of the times I hate them because they don't accurately depict what the story is. This one did, but I didn't expect the narrative to be so heavy in religion, because it's very clearly in the blurb that the main character, Gifty, who is a PhD candidate in neuroscience, is struggling, is exploring the evangelical and charismatic religion of her childhood. She's trying to justify that with being a scientist and believing in the physical sciences and all of it. She is caring for her mother, who has severe depression and at one point was suicidal. Her brother had died of a heroin overdose. None of these are spoilers. It's in the front flap. And so she's trying to live her life and come to terms with her past. So the book jumps back and forth in time. You read about Gifty as she is in the present time as a PhD student. She goes back and she discusses her childhood with her brother and her mother after there is a father in the picture, but there's more details around that. So she goes back and talks about her childhood. She then goes back and discusses her late teen years, her early adulthood, and then it keeps going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's not really hard to follow because she's narrating the entire time. And so Gyasi did that really well. The other thing that I really enjoyed about this book is it's extremely readable, and that sounds cliche on BookTube, but basically means it was a very smooth, fast read. On the other hand, as much as I liked that, for me, I'm the type of reader that my first qualification for an excellent novel for me is gorgeous artistic writing. And this wasn't really it, but the thing she does very well is she gives you a lot of information in a small space. She doesn't waste words. She very clearly describes situations, events, or a piece of a narrative of Gifty's background in very few sentences, and you immediately know what she's talking about. So she does that very smoothly. I was not blown away by the book. I did enjoy it. Judy and I both enjoyed this reading experience. It was a super fast read. I think we finished it in 4 or 5 days, if that. Judy finished it in less time than me. But it was a very easy book to read. Nothing complicated or complex. There is also a lot of issues. This is an issue book. Drug addiction, religion, huge in this book. Science, education, mental illness, dysfunctional mothers and daughter relationship. There's so much here to discuss. It is extremely full with religious narrative. So, like I said, far more than I was expecting. So if that makes you uncomfortable, you probably won't enjoy this book, because there's a lot of discussion about evangelicalism and charismatic religion, what Gifty has to endure to come to terms with the religion of her childhood and her mother, and what faith means to her in her present day as a scientist. So it's got a lot of that. Not that it's a warning, but just to let everybody know it's chock full. So I gave this a 3-star on Goodreads. It was an enjoyable book to read. And yeah, I have not yet read her first novel, Homegoing. I have it. I am dying to read that one. So maybe I'll try to fit that one in by the end of the year. So those are the 2 books that I completed last week. What am I currently reading? Brian from Bookish and I are reading Oscar and Lucinda by Peter Carey. Yeah, I'm over the halfway point. Woohoo! And our 3rd check-in is this weekend. So we've had some interesting Voxer conversations back and forth. And I think we're both on the same page. I'm still waiting to see how I'm gonna feel about this book. But I am enjoying reading it, and talking with Brian is a lot of fun, so. Oh boy, Blackwater Rising by Attica Locke. This is for our Attica Locke Voxer group, a bunch of crazy women who we are having so much fun and have such great discussions, and all the gifts flying back and forth. It's just a blast. Attica Locke is an exceptionally good mystery writer, and this is her first novel. We can tell it's a first novel, but it's still good. It's a great first novel. This is the story of Jay Porter, who is a lawyer in a strip mall law office that is not profitable. He's got a heavily pregnant wife, expecting their first baby. He's kind of pulled into an issue with a union. I don't even know what they're called, but they are a union that helps unpack shipping crates on the docks. He's also pulled into a situation where he and his wife go out for a boat ride on her birthday, and they seem to be a witness to a crime. So there's a lot going on, and again, it's very obviously a first novel, but it's well done so far. There's just a lot of storylines that I'm waiting to see how she makes all those connections. The other one, this is my audiobook in the car. This is Saving Jesus from the Church by Robin R. Myers. This is one of my maybe midrash nonfictions. I'm probably about 75% done with this. Oh, good gracious. This is going to be an interesting review when I'm done with this book. Lots in here to talk about. Wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. There is so much here. It's not that long of a book, but it's very intense, very dense. There's going to be a lot there. And I think the 22nd, yeah, that would be today. I'm actually filming this on Friday afternoon. But the 22nd is the schedule for discussing the Barter Horde's Backlist Book Club pick, which is The Progress of Love by Alice Munro, one of her short story collections. And hopefully I'd like to finish this before I start talking about it. But I have read about halfway through with the short stories, and I'm really enjoying them. I really love her writing, and this is the very first Alice Munro I've ever read. I don't know why. I've got a pile of her books, and I'm really glad that one came up for Barter Horde's Book Club, because it's been really good to read her writing. And I've heard so much about her on BookTube and elsewhere. I'm very happy to be diving into some Alice Munro stories. So that's it for me for the book so far. Yes, I'm still reading the George Eliot biography. I won't be done in May. I'm gonna continue to work on that one. I really am enjoying it, but good gracious, my schedule has been absolutely all over the place. I will get to it. Not finishing it in May. So, I have a small book outlet haul. This is, I haven't even opened it yet. I just pulled it out of the mailbox. So let me go ahead and tear this open. Maybe I should have cut it open beforehand. So yeah. I got this going on too. Okay, I got it open. Let's see what I got. Now with Book Outlet, I'm sure many of you know this already. When you spend $35 online, they give you free shipping. I don't always spend $35, and I tell myself that $5 in shipping is okay. I typically go over the $35, but I don't want to buy stuff just to hit $35. So I try to be very discriminating. Most of the time I have no trouble, but this time I ordered 3 books, and let me show you what they are. This one is In a Lonely Place by Dorothy B. Hughes, and it is an NYRB book, which I love. What is this about? Los Angeles in the late 40s is a city of promise and prosperity, but not for former fighter pilot Dick Steele. To his mind, nothing has come close to matching that feeling of power and exhilaration and freedom that came with the lowness in the sky. He prowls the foggy city at night, but bus stops and stretches of darkened beaches and movie houses just emptying out, seeking solitary young women. His funds are running out and his frustrations are growing. Where is the good life he was promised? I ask myself that same question. Why does he always get a raw deal? Then he hooks up with his old Air Corps buddy, Brub, now working for the LAPD, who just happens to be on the trail of the Strangler, who's been terrorizing the women of the city for months. Sounds like a great crime mystery. This one's a short one. This is like less than 200 pages. I love the cover. That's a face. I just noticed that. Yeah, I'm observant. I love the NYRB bindings. I love the style of this book. It's got red inside. So that one looked really good. Edith Wharton Summer. I've seen this on Book Outlet in the past. I really liked this cover. And I have another 1 or 2 of Edith Wharton's books. Let's see. One of the first American novels to deal frankly with a young woman's sexual awakening. It was a published sensation when it appeared in 1917, praised by Joseph Conrad, Howard Sturgis, and Percy Lubbock, and favorably compared to Madame Bovary, which I love Madame Bovary. A lot of people don't like that book. Like its predecessor, Ethan Frome, it is set in the Berkshires, but the season is summer and the story is of Charity Royale, a New Englander of humble origins, passionate, forthright, and proud, and her torrid affair with Lucius Harney, an artistically inclined young man from the city. Young woman's sexual awakening. Yep, New England. Yeah, yep. And the last one is Actress by Anne Enright. Was really happy to see this on Book Outlet. This was short, long, author. What was this? Longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction. Wasn't it one of the Booker Prize books? I don't remember. Longlisted for the Booker? This is the story of Irish theater legend Catherine O'Dell as told by her daughter Nora. It's the story of early stardom in Hollywood, of highs and lows on the stages of Dublin and London's West End. Catherine's life is a grand performance with young Nora watching from the wings. But this mother-daughter romance cannot survive Catherine's past or the world's damage. As Nora uncovers her mother's secrets, she acquires a few of her own. Then fame turns to infamy when Catherine commits a bizarre crime. I've been wanting to read this. I really like Anne Enright, and I don't know why, but I love Irish writers. I think there's just certain areas of the world of writing that I just really connect with, and Irish authors are one group of them. So yeah. So those are the 3 books I got from Book Outlet. They're all little. They're very little. They're little and cute. So that's it for my week last week. It's really nice out today, and it's supposed to be nice out tomorrow in New Hampshire, and we're gonna try to do some gardening outside, maybe get some vitamin D. I got plenty of shopping to do with the daughter because we both need summer clothes and shorts and t-shirts and all that fun stuff. My older daughter is turning 30 on June 7th, and she actually took us out to dinner last night for a belated Mother's Day dinner. So I had my 2 daughters and me. I didn't have to pay for anything. I got carrot cake at the end of it. It was so good. What else is going on? I don't think anything else is going on. Yeah. My May is winding down. May's schedule was insane, and I had so much going on. I'm finishing up, and I've been able to knock some things off of the list of books that I was reading for buddy reads and read-alongs, and now it's so much more manageable. I've loved the reading experiences that I've had this May. I continue to enjoy the books that I'm reading. I'm looking forward to taking one book and just sitting for a long period of time and just reading it and not having to worry about my scheduling or if I should read a certain amount in this other book, and you know what I mean. I'm really looking forward to having less on the schedule. And believe me, June is going to be much less congested. Although I am going to do the BookTube prize again for the semifinals, and I'm really looking forward to that. So that's it for me. Let me know in the comments below if any of these books struck you, or any of the things I said about Transcendent Kingdom, or any of the summaries of the books that I just read to you, that I just hauled from Book Outlet. That's about it. I really appreciate you watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.